I trade crypto for a living. I'm not a registered or licensed financial advisor, planner, or broker, so nothing on this channel should be taken as a recommendation to buy or sell. I also trade all of these things, so I probably have a vested interest in there. But there's plenty of entertainment value and lots of education, so this will be awesome. For those of you who didn't know, my subscription channel is live. So look at the link in the description over at cryptoinfluencers.com, and you can see how I make all of my trades and what I do and what I think about everything. This channel is for more hypothetical and looking at trends, and the other one is for actual trading, so you might be interested in that. All right, it is Wednesday, favorite day of the week. So, yeah, we got a lot to talk about. It's been a little while since we were back together. It's been 2 weeks now. And boy, has Bitcoin sure moved to a different place since a few weeks ago. We're going to go ahead and just talk about all kinds of stuff. But first of all, just wanted to remind you that if you haven't signed up at cryptoinfluencers.com, please do. It is free. That is the free channel right here. And then the pro channel's here in case you hear me talking about that. Yeah, well, that's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and talk about what happened today. And then we'll just kind of go from there. And I'll be happy to take any questions or look at alts or whatever you want to do. It'll be pretty casual today, which would be nice. So as you can see here, my face is in the way. Let me just move myself really quick. This is our movements on the stock market. I have pre-market in at the bottom. So on top, I've got Bitcoin. In the middle, I have Ethereum. And then on the bottom, I have the SPY. So just the S&P. So anyway, this day has been kind of unusual because when news broke that our CPI or our interest, our inflation readings came slightly in below expectations, and expectations were pretty low. Everything jumped pretty good. So this was definitely one of those bot moves that's it's programmed to make a move whenever you see anything. The second news breaks. And so Ethereum popped, Bitcoin popped, everything went just fine. But then it was kind of a fake out because S&P has just been bleeding all the way down. And I'm on a 1 minute chart, by the way. And you can see that we got down into a red zone down in here. And when we finally exited, we kind of mellowed out and moved up pretty good. Now we're an hour and a half away from the end of day and markets are dropping again. And it's probably because the minutes from the last Fed meeting must have come out and whatever. There's a lot of news and things going on today. But what's interesting about this chart is that while Bitcoin followed exactly in the footsteps of the S&P, just almost move for move, the Ethereum has not had a single red zone on the 1 minute chart today. Of course, we're going to probably start one right now because all of our averages are right here. But Ethereum has been showing a pretty decent amount of strength. So yesterday, by the way, Charlie, thanks for commenting. Hey, what's up, Calvin? Not much. And Pepe Kite, hello, Calvin. Awesome. So on the daily, so if we look at Ethereum, no, excuse me, we were talking yesterday about Bitcoin dominance, and we talked quite a bit about it. We had kind of this zone of resistance between here and here. And the second we reached our very, very first zone, we struggled and we went sideways and really chopped like this for a good long time. And then yesterday we were debating on whether we were done or not, like if Bitcoin dominance had kind of hit its peak. And the number we came up with was, I think, yeah, so this line here is at 48.93. The number we had yesterday was like 49.09 or something like that. So if I go to intraday and go to the 4-hour chart, you can see that our high on Bitcoin dominance was 49.06. Unbelievable, right? So our Bitcoin dominance is hitting its highest It kind of hit our target and immediately retreated. Immediately. So there is a lot going on here. Now, some of this is technical, but some of it is fundamental. And we have the hard fork on Ethereum coming out in just a few more hours. I found this website. It's beaconchain.in, so beacon chain. And this is our countdown. 3 hours and 50 more minutes. 3 hours 49 minutes. So in 3 hours and 49 minutes, we are going to see this hard fork come out. And I know that there's like, millions and millions of Ethereum staked, but you can only withdraw a little bit. And the average price that these stakers started is way, way higher than where we are now. And there's just very little incentive for these people to sell. And the news from uninformed people has been really bearish. And there's a lot of talk about being a sell the news event and all kinds of things. And I'm just speculating that this is going to be a big wah-wah, a big nothing burger, and nothing will happen. I've been wrong before, but it just doesn't feel like, I just don't feel like, if I was investing in Ethereum and I had the guts to put 32 Ethereum on the line for a staking thing and do this whole thing, do you think I'd be hard up for money? I'd probably have a diverse portfolio. I don't think I'd put it all into something like this. And so I really don't think that the people that have invested in this are completely strapped for cash and that they need to absolutely withdraw immediately. And I've also seen some things on news here and there that there's like nothing in the pipeline anyway. But hopefully this will explain it a little bit better. Once this actually goes live, this site should explain how it's going, and I'll kind of put some research into it and see if I can figure out what's happening. But so far, we're just essentially waiting for this to go. And when it does, we'll kind of see who's withdrawing and what's going on. But yeah, for the time being, I think it's a lot of talk. And the chart usually tells the story. And we kind of went over that yesterday, how we went up so much before the merge, and then we didn't really do anything leading up to this. I mean, we've underperformed Bitcoin, so we're just following the broad market. We're not doing anything special. This has nothing to do with the upgrade. So it's been largely ignored in the charts. So that's kind of what I've been watching out for. The S&P is kind of doing something interesting. Right now, if you go to the weekly, we did have a higher intra-week move just recently, but I'm not sure if this move is complete or not. This obviously has 2 more days to go on this, and we'll see if we have anything going. With this candle being the highest high, this is our most likely candidate for a swing high, which means that we could still be moving up. But overall, the market is actually fairly bullish. This is definitely a bullish structure. So I would expect that S&P will get there. What we really need to see, if I go to monthly, if we get above this resistance line here, then it'll be pretty much in the bag that the S&P is just going to go up. I know that there's a lot of bearish news, and we're supposed to have the worst recession ever. We haven't seen unemployment drop. There's a lot of things that could throw this apart. But for now, I follow I watch the chart and follow it as it goes, and this is a bullish structure to me. So anyway, there's a couple of things that have been on my mind lately. But if Bitcoin dominance goes flat or starts pulling back, we're going to see a lot of moves in the altcoin markets. And there are, we were just doing this analysis this morning. So back to Bitcoin dominance. So this is our pullback that we're having off of this. And any of these moves, especially the higher the market cap is on the total market cap, the higher this number gets. The higher we get up here, any pullback in Bitcoin dominance means billions of dollars into the alts. So if you were to go from a Bitcoin dominance of, if you dropped 2 or 3%, and Bitcoin is, the total market cap is way down here at like 700 billion, then a smaller amount flows into alts. But if the market cap's all the way up here, you know, say we're up at 2 trillion or something and we go down a couple of percent, that represents a ton of just way more inflow into the altcoin market. And so there's just a ton of upside. And that's why I'm comfortably sitting on my alt positions, just waiting for things to turn around, because it'll come along. And I still have a Bitcoin exposure and everything else, so it's, you know, either way you're doing good. But that's interesting. But look at this, and we kind of did this analysis after the live stream on the Pro channel. But you can see how Bitcoin season and altcoin season are kind of inverse. So when you're moving, let me see. Oh, perfect. That's, well, no, you can see it. Cool. If you go from the bottom of this to the top of this, we had a 71-day Bitcoin season, Bitcoin season, because when Bitcoin's outpacing alts, you kind of want to be in Bitcoin. So this represents about 2.5 months of wanting to be in Bitcoin rather than alts. And then we went from here down to the bottom. This was alt season. This lasted 45 days. So 45 days, about a month and a half of an alt season. Then we had a very short Bitcoin season. This was 36 days. This was about 1 month. So things were pretty choppy. It was Bitcoin season, it was alt season. It was Bitcoin season, it was alt season. Now things are starting to stretch out a little bit. 87 days of an alt season. And then you go from alt season to Bitcoin season. And I mean, there was kind of an so this could be 50 days. The bottom here was another month. So I mean, you could say that we went up for 2 months, down for a month, up for a month. I'll just say in general, 144. So general trend, it was kind of Bitcoin season for about, you call that 5 months. 5 months. Then it was alt season for 3 more months. But do you see what I'm seeing? About 3 months is our average. We have a Bitcoin push for 3 months. We have an altcoin push for 3 months. Bitcoin season, alt season, Bitcoin season. This has kind of been all over the map. But if you really, really look at this, and even taking this bottom is probably pretty generous. But we're currently 130 days. We're 4 months into sort of Bitcoin season. I mean, we really, really haven't seen a massive move towards alts. I mean, a couple weeks here, I don't know if I'd count that. And this was kind of hard to count. I mean, we were kind of ranging sideways almost. So we're 4 months into our Bitcoin season. Well, that means we're about there. Especially if we count this as a consolidation. Our longest one in the most recent past has been only 5 months. And so worst case scenario, we have another month. And then alts start outpacing Bitcoin. Not bad. So I feel like our Bitcoin dominance is just about there. From a numbers wise, from a resistance wise standpoint, there's a lot of different ways to look at this. And it kind of makes you think that, you know, these little alts that everyone thinks are just dying on the vine and aren't going to do anything, they're about to surprise everybody. And that's what my opinion is. But you can see how sharp it is once it changes. You know, it's pretty sharp. And we've gone up really sharp. This sideways consolidation was kind of interesting, but we're still going up pretty sharp. If this finally does turn back around, man, it's a ridiculous amount of money that could flow into alts. So, all right, I've ignored my questions in my chat for a little bit. Sarah Lee says, hello, goat. Thank you. Charlie, if Ethereum has a big move, what other alts will closely follow its movement? Ethereum Classic, Matic, SHIB, for example. It's kind of an interesting question because this is one other thing to look at. If this is Bitcoin dominance, and I'll put it on top, and on the bottom I'll put Ethereum. I discovered this years ago, but do you see how when Bitcoin dominance drops, Ethereum peaks. When Ethereum drops, Bitcoin dominance spikes. So our Bitcoin dominance and Ethereum dominance charts, like here was kind of a strange moment when they were sort of going up together. That means they were destroying everything besides Ethereum and Bitcoin. So this is kind of unusual. But yeah, normally when you hit a peak in Bitcoin dominance, you're also hitting a trough in Ethereum. And so Ethereum becomes a representative of all other alts. It's hard to pick out exactly which one, but when Ethereum's on the move, all the rest of the alts historically have been on the move. And so it really just comes down to the ones that are just getting the most attention, but honestly, all the way across the board, they'll move. That's why I trade 100 coins, because when it's alt season, there will be some alts that go up 20, 30%. There will be some that 5x, and I just want a broad exposure. And it kind of helps you emotionally, since you're not so invested in a single coin that you feel excited because you got everything. You know, everything that went up, you had a piece of. And so it kind of keeps you normalized emotionally. So that's kind of the strategy there. But yeah, when Bitcoin dominance drops, it's not just Ethereum that'll be on the move, but everything will be on the move. So kind of interesting. This is also the dollar value of Ethereum, so that's why there's a little bit of a match here. If I went to Ethereum dominance on the bottom, then you'd really see it. So let's do that actually. Ethereum dominance. Huh. Not as defined as it used to be. But here's our trough and peak on Bitcoin dominance. Here's a peak and kind of a trough. We had a period where we went the same direction. This means alts were just running like crazy. And then, yeah, here's a peak, very obvious. And then we were heading down into a trough on Ethereum. So yeah, you'll see them moving in opposition to each other. Ethereum going sideways and Bitcoin dominance increasing means that all the micro caps are just getting crushed. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. I think that if Ethereum can finally break out, I mean, this is a pretty long, yeah, look at this. Here's our line from the top of this straight down. Pretty clear. So we have a falling Ethereum dominance that has been going on for quite a while, but if it ever breaks out, it's gonna be music. It's gonna be pretty awesome. So really good question. Yeah, I don't have a specific coin, but that's why I trade a whole bunch. Just keep yours. I've got larger, alts and also a couple of micro caps. I've kind of switched over to investing in everything that's got a decent order books and decent liquidity though. Since I'm kind of trading alongside a lot of people with the pro channel and everything. All right, Blue Sky, with regards to your thoughts on Bitcoin dominance dropping and money flowing into alts, why money flow into alts and not stables? What's the thought behind that? So yeah, if Bitcoin dominance drops, money could be flowing into any kind of altcoin, and the stables are alts. So I wish that there was a way. I seriously hunted through TradingView to see if there was a stablecoin dominance or something that I could just remove stablecoins from the equation, but I couldn't find anything. If you guys find anything that has a list of stablecoins or anything, yeah, I mean, there's just I don't see anything. There are stable coins like DAI and whatever. And I suppose I could just subtract some of the major ones, but yeah, it's all mixed in there, and it's not helping. That definitely muddies the waters. But there would be lots of money flowing into the stables if it's dropping. It also depends on whether, because dominance just means that it's the percentage of the total market cap. if Bitcoin dominance is dropping, but the overall market cap is increasing, that means that there's, Bitcoin could still be going up or be flat. It's just that more money is flowing into everything else. So it's kind of it's kind of a game of chess to kind of put it all together. All right, Michael Angelos. Hello, hello. Charlie, yep, diversify, broad exposure, correct. Khalid Mohammed, hi. What's going on? Can you give me the numbers of all moving averages? Well, you'll need to tell me which coin. Sorry, I know that some of you are not able to see very clearly, so yeah, I'll try to be more descriptive. But yeah, yeah, sorry, I'll try to get it to you whenever you tell me which coin it is. Peppy Kite. I think it's almost time for some projects to be blockchain FANG of the future. The real successful use should win in some way on the market. Yeah, it's interesting how there's only probably maybe 10 or 20 coins on the entire stock market that when they're doing well, they absolutely completely change the entire sentiment of the entire market. And as long as you're exposed to those 5 or 10, you'll outperform the entire market. The rest of it is just kind of dead weight that floats around. And it's just broad market indexes that really put any buying pressure on a lot of that. And so, yeah, I would expect to see the same thing, that there will be some projects that end up, outshining the rest. But there has to be a real reason. And that has been the struggle ever since Bitcoin began. It was like, cool, we've got a new currency. This is back in 2012, 2013. It's like, hey, we've got a new currency. We can use this. And there people were signing up businesses left and right. Like, hey, you could accept Bitcoin at your business and whatever. And then after all the excitement and hubbub, we all kind of sat back and thought, well, would you spend Bitcoin for gasoline or whatever? And some people were like, yeah, but it was because of the idea of it. It wasn't, when you pay the fee and you have to wait extra time, like it's more inconvenient than money, than just normal cash. So there has to be a pain. There has to be a solution that you're actually solving. And so even Bitcoin didn't get a huge increase in adoption until people realized that, oh, it's a really good way to opt out of the system and put long-term savings into a safe place, some place where I can control it. If I put my money into a 401k and I need it, I'll get penalized for pulling it out early. And, there's just a lot of hoops and issues with our normal, markets and our normal lives. And Bitcoin just gives you access to something that nobody can touch, and you can move it around permissionlessly, and all of a sudden there's a use case for it. And that happens a lot in tech. Sometimes you'll create some kind of a great idea that you think should be used one way, and the market gets a hold of it and completely uses it in a different way. And it's the market that'll tell you where the value is. And so Bitcoin was close. It was like, hey, this should be used for transactions. And it can be, but it's expensive and slow. And so if these other coins hop in and they can create, if they can solve that problem. So some of them, yeah, they've made it faster, and some are cheaper, but you really need some network effect, and we need paychecks paid in some of these or something. There has to be a closed loop economy there, because if you're going from dollars to ADA, and then you love spending ADA on whatever, but then those guys are just converting it back into dollars on the other side, then what's the point? You know what I mean? So we kind of need a little bit more of network effect. And if any of these other alts can actually solve a problem, then that would be amazing. Ethereum's doing it. So that's why I've moved Ethereum. I used to consider Ethereum an altcoin, but now I consider it one of the blue chips because it's an amazing investment as far as like it being deflationary, but all of the use cases for DeFi and everything, man, if I ever want to trade or do things without permission and off exchange and everything else, I can just swap it back and forth on a DeFi exchange using Ethereum, and it's unbelievable. So there is an absolute use case there. So it's kind of cool. But yeah, a lot of these others, they're going to really have to bring it to the table and actually solve something. And that's what's always kind of been missing in some of these projects. So yeah, really, really interesting. Blue Sky, thank you. And Charlie Lowell. David Era, I'm from Spain, guys. Hi, Calvin. Cool. That's pretty awesome that people join from all over the world. We do have a pretty diverse group with this channel, which is cool. Charlie, can you give me a sanity check on ADA? Is it getting close to breaking our 42-cent resistance? Let's look. Go to ADA. Let's see. So I am currently long ADA. I like ADA's chart. Yeah, look at this thing. So we're getting closer. So our resistance is 41.67, and that is from this candle body right here. And then we had kind of we pulled down into it right here, lost it, and rejected. And then now we've rejected twice, and now we're just barely getting up there. But the good thing that we've got behind us is we have a solid exit of the red zone. So this is bullish. And then we came up and confirmed support on our prior support here. And then we're kind of hitting into, yeah, I mean, there's momentum building. There's absolutely no question about that. Today, actually it was yesterday. Yesterday we entered our first green zone. And the only reason we didn't stay in the green zone is because today our 50 is trading below our 100. So we're still kind of figuring ourselves out, but we're just about fully bullish. Yeah, a couple more days and our 50 is going to be popping up because all of this is going to be dropping off of our 50. So it should really start moving up. Yeah, I'd say there's a lot of pressure moving upwards on here. The big marker is this weekly. So let's go take a look at the weekly. Yeah, look at that. That is pretty. So we've got resistance right here. Yeah, on the weekly, it's undeniable. Right here is our weekly resistance. I'll draw it in. So, fell through the support. Here's resistance. Resistance. Here's our next attempt. And if we attempt this, if we even touch it, we will exit the yellow zone. And exiting yellow zones on the weekly is multi-year upside. Like, this is phenomenal. Yeah, so technically, if our 50 was here, this is our first 50, at least on this data set. I'm sure it's probably longer. But we would have technically exited our yellow zone right here at 5 cents. And it would have been straight up until we entered the yellow zone here at $1.35. So, not to say that that type of return is still on the table, but this will definitely generate a pretty awesome return. So yeah, I would be completely bullish on ADA, which I am. So yeah, looks nice. Solana is going to the moon. You keep your position? Yes, I keep everything. I try to teach people to under trade. So the less trading you do, the better. That's why I only look at my positions once a day. And even then, I'm really patient with them. But look what Solana is doing. On the daily, we finally crossed all 3 averages and exited the yellow zone. And we've just closed above our most recent resistance. So this chart looks so good. But look how long it's been. Yeah, last time we were support. Yeah, what a story this 200 tells. So we were support on the 200 here, and then we struggled with it here. We were support briefly and then broke through it. And then from then on, the 200 has been resistance. Resistance. And then we had a couple of fake outs. So we had one day where we pulled up ahead and popped back down below. And then this one, we had another one day where we were up above, one candle above, and then we dropped back below. This is with authority. So I think we finally have the right side of our of our 200. Do you guys remember when FTX happened and Solana just totally died and everyone thought, oh, it's dead. There's no way this is recovering. It's never coming back. You know, you exit these red zones, man, and you just never know. It's kind of like when somebody writes off a coin that you know that it's got a lot of eyeballs on there, but the world's kind of turned its back on it. These are the ones that'll surprise you. Can you imagine getting in at 9 cents and you know we're headed up. When this bull market goes into full sway, we're going to be really moving. But yeah, we haven't even seen a green zone yet. It could all come very quickly though, because we have the 100 is already above the 200. That's usually what you're waiting for. That's kind of the last step. And now we just need our 50 above both of these averages, which could happen real soon if we keep price action up here. Yeah, I like the shape of Solana. I totally think we're moving up. And on the weekly, we're getting closer. Our weekly resistance sits at about $25, and we're only like 75 cents away from there. And our 50's coming down. Yeah, it's looking good. It's only a matter of time. Solana looks nice. Let's see, look for users, ADA guy. Well, yeah, honestly, every one of these projects, as long as there are people trading it, I'm willing to trade it. Because all of these are pure speculation, and they all have their chicken with their head cut off moments. Either they're just running for the hills, or they're just so blind to the gains that are happening that they just miss it. But you hold anything long enough in crypto and it'll eventually come your way, as long as you're positioned right. And that's kind of my trading philosophy. All right, let's take a look. Blue Sky, talking about nothing burger. What burger is your favorite to eat? Anything with mushrooms and a blue cheese on it. I did a missionary thing for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and I lived in France for 2 years, and I just fell in love with all the moldy cheeses. So I came back, and the only way I can get it is blue cheese. So I just like blue cheese on everything. It's so good. All right, can you explain a little how to make confluence with Bitcoin dominance and BTC USDT pairs? Yeah, so in other words, really you're not making money unless Bitcoin's going up in value, right? So there are times when Bitcoin outperforms the rest of the market, and there are times when the rest of the market outperforms Bitcoin. But if the entire market is dropping, then you're losing money. You might as well be in cash, right? So honestly, you want to be on the right side of Bitcoin dominance while Bitcoin is actually increasing in value as well. So if Bitcoin price is on its way up and Bitcoin dominance is on the way up, you're on the fastest horse. If Bitcoin dominance is dropping and alt's USD price is up, then you're on the fastest horse. So the idea is to try to be on the fastest horse. If Bitcoin dominance is going up or down and the total market cap is retracting, then you should be in cash. It's just how you got to be doing it. But what happens is Bitcoin does these 4-year cycles, right? And so if there's a 4-year cycle happening on Bitcoin where we have these massive moves to the upside, a long drawn out bear market, consolidation, another massive move, a long drawn out bear market, a pull up, consolidation, and another move. So we're doing this in these giant 4-year periods. Well, my hypothesis is that this is the bottom of our trough right here and here, and that over the next year or two, Bitcoin price is on the way out. So now I'm just looking at Bitcoin dominance to decide, do I want to be more heavily weighted in Bitcoin or do I want to be more heavily weighted in alts? And so if the trading thesis is that the entire market is expanding and Bitcoin dominance is about to drop, that means there's a lot of money to be made in alts. And then if the Bitcoin dominance, bottoms out and it starts moving up, then you want to be in Bitcoin if things are moving up. But historically, Bitcoin usually when it starts moving, it starts to kind of gobble up everything else. And so that'll go for a while, but then depending on the sentiment and what's going on, the rest will catch up really fast. So even though Bitcoin dominance is taking over a lot of things, if it goes up 50%, 70% or whatever, then that's great. But when Bitcoin dominance levels off or starts pulling back, alts will go up 200% or 300%. And so the faster horse is these tinier, smaller market cap coins that really have a lot of volatility to them. So either way, I kind of feel like sometimes it's better to just be patient with some of these alts and wait for that to happen. The whole market is in expansion mode though, so we should be seeing some good things coming up. So hopefully that answers your question. Push the like button, guys. Thanks. There are some divergences. That is true. Let's see. All right, yeah. So some of the divergences that people have been pointing out have been resolved. I have seen a few that people have pointed out, and I'm not sure where they're getting them. Maybe they're looking at the total. Let me look at that. Yeah, see, there's no divergence here. There was divergence here. See how the RSI was dropping really, really strongly, and we had higher high. And we talked about this at length back in the day. But even this move here, where we went to an extremely much higher point, it's lower than here, and that move started up here. So we kind of pulled back and aligned our move already. I mean, this is technically higher than this, and our bottoms are agreeing with us. So yeah, you'd be splitting hairs to find divergence here. I feel like the market is definitely moving in the right direction. If you're pointing at this, like this, if you're saying that this is our high, what is this, 67.54, and that this move put us here at only 65.58, that there's a slight downward slope to this versus our move up. You know, there's a case there, but that case will not belong if we go up for in a couple days. You know what I mean? So I don't know if this move is fully fleshed out anyway. Let's see if I take out. Yeah, so this is sort of retreating, and this is retreating. So they're both going the same way. Others, these are the micro caps. They're pulling back, and we're just ranging. Yeah, I don't see a lot of divergence. Somebody had a chart that showed very clear divergence, but he must have been cherry picking some special chart. People that are trying to make a specific point, they find a way to, they look through and find the chart that exemplifies it the most. But yeah, I mean, we've kind of hit a triple top on our RSI, and we're just cruising up. I don't see anything wrong with this. So yeah, anyway. All right, couple more. Let's see. We're going to the moon. Yay. All right, let's see. David's bot said bye again. Good. Good for you. Charlie, thoughts on Matic? Not sure what to make of the chart. Yeah, let's take a look. And welcome Chris to the conversation. Awesome. Yeah, let's look at Matic. We'll take a look. Yeah, this is a confusing chart, isn't it? It's pretty hard to read because we are completely ranging. I mean, we had an exit of the red zone here. It's the only red zone we've had. This was the buying point back in July, but that doesn't help you now. And then we have kind of a level of support here at 75 cents, and we are technically putting in higher highs. So we do have a slope where we've got higher lows and higher highs. So technically we are in a bull market here. We had a golden cross here and a near miss on the death cross. So we're still holding our golden cross, but this 50 is coming down pretty hard. Yeah, it really is all over the map. Let's look at the weekly, see if we can zoom out and get anything more. Yeah, I mean, this move definitely got us a little bit too high. And so we're gonna have to consolidate for a bit to overcome that. As long as we consolidate above our 50, then we're in good shape. Our 50 is gonna start moving up quickly though, because in the next month, we're going to be removing some very low numbers from our average, and this is going to start spiking up pretty good. So usually the 50 will curl up and catch us. So I'd say in about 2 months, we'll probably find some really awesome support structure, and it'll really look nice. But in the meantime, I don't know if it'll move too far. Just from the chart. Really, really interesting though. I've been kind of flip-flopping, bearish and bullish on it, because I just don't like how we got our 50 coming down on top of us, and we've just barely lost our 100, so we're kind of languishing a little bit. But it really wouldn't take much for me to be back to bullish, because this is only a 5-cent move. You know what I mean? To like suddenly be in really good shape. So we'll let the market do it. I bet it'll take Ethereum or Bitcoin making a pretty solid move before these some of these other alts really start looking better. All right, Mike Obermeyer, do you think it's a good time to buy XRP? Well, let's take a look. XRP is when I think, yeah, I'm definitely long XRP right now. Is it a good time to buy? Depends on your investment horizon. The time to buy was when I bought, right down here. We're finding some long-term resistance right now. This is why we've slowed. 53 cents is about our spot, and we're kind of creating sort of a descending triangle. It's hard to say, but we're so far above our averages that we have plenty of time to range up here and still be bullish. So I'm currently bullish, and I'm not looking to close anything, but you can see that our 200-week moving average just showed up on scene, and we're just riding that line. So if I go to weekly, yeah, you can see we've kind of got a double bottom going on here, and we're just retesting our resistance. So we pulled back a little bit last week. If we spend very much time in this area at all, it's going to be more and more bullish as we go. And same with Matic, about 2-3 more weeks, and suddenly our 50 is going to start curling upwards, and that slope of the 50 sloping upwards is a pretty strong signal that long term this is going to be a pretty good investment. We are also playing with a pretty long upward support, and we're now kind of in an ascending triangle. And an ascending triangle has a lot of move to it. Cool thing about ascending triangles is they have a target. So you can actually measure. It's about 39 cents to the upside. Yeah, target's almost $1. So about a double is on the table for this particular coin over the next few months, you know what I mean? But you know, if you could potentially double your money in a few months, that beats the socks out of a lot of other things you could be investing in. But yeah, so I'm definitely long on this one and looking to make some money. Let's see what else we have. Hey Calvin, thanks for saying so. It's okay, dude. Can we look at sushi? I have sushi. You're not alone. Cool. Let's look at sushi. Where did I put sushi? So sushi's been on the bad news side of things lately. I'm a little blind. I'll just make this fast. That did not help at all. I still don't see it. Okay, here it is. I'm sorry. All right, let's look at sushi. Well, on the weekly, it's looking pretty rough. Yeah, this is definitely not looking very strong. First thing I see is a pretty strong descending triangle, which is bearish. That's on the weekly. So, yeah, that doesn't look too great. Let's see if there's any kind of hope in the meantime. We did exit it took us a long time to have our first red zone. And we do have that in the rearview mirror, which is positive. Yeah, there's potential here. I'm currently long because we've done a pretty good consolidation, and I kind of feel like I'm looking for any excuse to be long on anything because we are definitely in bull market season, probably for the next year to year and a half. And so as long as it's not completely buried, then I'm usually trying to find a good entry point. But yeah, I mean, there's if this wasn't attached to the broad market, I probably wouldn't be in this one yet because we have lower lows, lower highs, lower low, lower high, lower low. If this is a lower high, we would expect to put in a new lower low, which would be down here. So this one's a little bit risky to be long, but in my mind, I think I'm looking for excuses to find entry points because when alt season hits, it's going to hit everything. There's going to be very few coins that lose money when the rest of the market's going up double every week or two. So yeah, but yeah, I'm holding on to it. Just waiting for that one. Let's see, is it just me or does Sushi look like Link? Link looks completely different. And then yes, we'll look at Aptos. Link looks completely different. See how we are doing a sideways consolidation for sure, but we're ranging above the midpoint of this move. So here's our bottom, here's our top. The 50% mark is like right here, and almost all of our price action is ranging above this, which means that all of our averages are pulling up underneath us and giving us support. And most recently, we're crossing the 50-week. So Link is trying to exit the yellow zone on the weekly, and we entered this yellow zone in November of 2021. This is phenomenal. Like, this is really good. There is a huge, like, there's a definite, range that we've been playing in, but when you do this long enough after a move down and you range sideways for so long that you allow all of your averages to come down, it just becomes crazy bullish. So this chart versus, where did my Sushi go? They need a better logo. I'm just kidding. Here we go. You see how we're ranging at the bottom of this. If I was to draw the same range, we're on the bottom half of it instead of the top half. Huge difference. So yeah, I'm not currently trading Aptos, so let's go find it. Oops. And maybe I should, who knows? Guess that's it, huh? Let's see how much data we have. Oh, strange. There's a decent amount of data here. Well, our first chance to find support on the 100 just absolutely failed. We're down below it, and we just hit a resistance on the underside of it. Normally, this would look like a bull flag, but our most recent attempt to create a new flagpole just got destroyed. So we're definitely pulling back. I think it will go up with the rest of the market, but currently I would not be long yet. If we exit the yellow zone, like if we get a sustained move above the 50, I would totally be long. But right now it's just not there. I mean, it could be very soon. Like it could easily, because even 2 days ago we were just about there. But yeah, currently it's definitely showing some weakness. It could totally turn around though. I can see it changing gears, but this is the line that we need to cross. It's at the bottom of this resistance here. So $12. If we get a close above $12.18, I'd be all over this. Yeah, that's my opinion though. And then let's see, Sarah Lee, is Blocks looking good to you? Let's take a look. So I obviously follow Blocks. It is. So last time we looked at Blocks, I was like, hey, we just barely peeked our head above the 20. So this would have been the entry point right down here. And then we had major confirmation when we exited the red zone. So it does look nice. My entry would have been here. And we're currently trading 16% higher. So it's still fairly flat. But obviously it's looking better than ever. So that looks good. Let's see. All DeFi looks the same. Thank you. Cool. I'm going to make dinner. All right. See you, David. Aptos heading to $8 in the near future. It might. Oh, you think it'll go down to $8? Could. It just depends on what the rest of the market does. If Bitcoin and Ethereum have a significant pullback, it'll absolutely go there. But so will everything else, right? So it's not like being in this is anything special. But if they do a good move to the upside, then we're in great shape. I'm really curious to see how price action behaves in 3 hours. So we're only 3 hours away from the hard fork for Ethereum. So that'll be quite telling. And to have that happen midweek, it'll allow institutions to be online and interested if it happens. Cool. All right, we're about there. I think we're about 51 minutes. So I don't want to torture anybody, but it is fun to look at all these, and it's cool to take requests like that. Charlie says, I still own a green t-shirt, a CoinBook t-shirt from years ago. That's so awesome. You're the man, Calvin. Thank you for all the education and wisdom. If I ever meet you, I owe you a beer, or if you prefer a blue cheeseburger. Yeah, I'm not an alcohol drinker, so I would totally take you up on that. Hey, Calvin, thanks for the live videos and learning a lot. Peace to you and yours. That's from Love 006. Can we look at EWT, Energy Web Token? I want to hear your insights. Yeah, let's do that. This will be our last one, and then we'll quit. EWT. Not found. EWT. So it trades on Kraken and KuCoin. Well, I'll pull it up on Kraken and I'll pull it up on KuCoin, and we'll see which one has the most history. So monthly, oh, they're both about the same, but I think, yeah, we'll go with this one. So daily. So it followed the rest of the market pretty well. Yeah, this was our double top on Bitcoin, so it actually held on really well. It had a lot of strength when the rest of the market was absolutely dying, but then it kind of went down pretty good here. $2.45 was our bottom, and now we're just ranging slightly higher. The only thing that's not pretty about this is that we are still technically putting in lower highs. Double top here. Our next attempt was lower. Our most recent low is here, and we're right there. This thing hasn't fully turned the corner, so it's really hard. This is a pretty big range. $3 to $5 is a massive range to be in. So currently I would not be long because we're below every single average. We're about to enter a red zone. If the 50 drops all the way down and it can consolidate down low enough that we exit a red zone, then I'd totally be all over something like this. But this looks like obviously a pretty thin coin. I don't know. We've got lots of volume spikes that are pretty wild. And yeah, we've got $14,000 days. So yeah, it's obviously not traded very much. Not one I would trade, but some of these thin ones you can really make some money because they're just so volatile. When they do move, they move really fast. So anyway, that's totally cool. Awaken to the truth. Hi, Calvin. Hope you're having a great day. Well, I don't want to do any more, but there's some good stuff going on out there, guys, and it's fun to sit back and chat and talk to all of you guys about how things are going. But yeah, we're in a bull market, guys. It is very pretty. We've got lots of good things. I'm amazed that Bitcoin's even this high this quickly. We've literally doubled from our bottom. Yeah, we're just about to double. 15.5. So 31,000 is double, and we're almost there. So market's really on the move over this past little bit, and I feel like I think we're probably going to hit some resistance at 34. There's a lot of reasons for us to have resistance up here. And so I might be taking out and being a little patient and then looking for a pullback. This is the year of the ranging sideways. So we've had a pretty awesome start to the year, and things might cool off a little bit. The sell and go away in May might transfer over into Bitcoin, but you never know. You never know. So I'm just reading these charts day by day, taking one more piece of data and running with it as I go. So, but yeah, if you guys are ever curious how I do all this, you can join the pro channel if you want. We just keep things very level-headed, very methodical, very diverse. We stay diversified, and we're just always thinking about managing risks. You know, there's no point betting the farm on a stupid move just to exit the game. We'd rather stay in as long as possible and make a decent return that makes sense. So, oh, and I wanted to apologize for the $100 a month. I just talked to someone recently that was like, man, if that wasn't there, I would totally join you. It's kind of a necessity. It has kept a lot of trolls out, and the conversations and the stuff is just really positive and really productive. So it's just kind of my barrier to entry. We're making money, and it's fun to do that, but yeah, there's just been a lot of trolls that have followed around from different things, and it's just nice to have a clean place to have good, honest conversations with people that are fully engaged. So sorry about the $100 a month on the pro channel, but it's kind of a necessity. All right, you guys, I'm gonna let you go, but if you want to keep chatting and asking stuff on cryptoinfluencers.com on the free channel, there is a place to chat. It's just chat.cryptoinfluencers.com. And so even the free channel has a chat, and so you can ask questions, and I'll post charts and whatever. So we can totally keep the conversation going there. All right, you guys are awesome. We'll catch you on either chat or next week. Thanks for making it to the end of my video. Make sure you keep those trades small. Don't force a trade. Don't get impatient. And if you want to see how all this works, please come over and check me out on the subscription channel at cryptoinfluencers.com. Again, the link is in the description.